All right, if you clicked on this video, you want to learn how to make money in 2025. So I'm going to teach that with 5 steps right now. But before I get into it, I want to say 3 things so that everything is clear before we get started. Number one, I don't sell a course. I'm not selling anything. This is purely because I just love business and I just love to teach it and talk about it. And I run my own social media marketing agency online 4 years now. I started when I was 16, now I'm 19. And number two is I'm just gonna be raw and unfiltered. I'm not gonna edit this too much, so you can just enjoy it, play it in the background while you're eating or whatever. So just so you know, this is as authentic as possible. And number three, don't buy courses from strangers online, please. Okay, I'm gonna get started now. So I've been doing this for 4 years, and if I could go back to the start, this is exactly what I would do in 5 steps. So, step one, learn a skill. Learn a high income skill. Most of you guys, if this isn't your first video on YouTube ever, have heard that you need to learn a high income skill to have a high income job or a high income business. So, what does that actually mean? Yeah, so when I started out, when I heard the term skill, I had no fucking clue what that meant. And so now I do. So, I'm going to tell you how that works. What I do is I do B2B service based business. That is my business model. And what that means is that I provide a service to business owners and businesses to help them with their social media marketing. So I help them with marketing, right? And B2B fundamentally, it makes you a lot more money at the start because you are able to charge higher prices compared to B2C. So B2B, business to business, it's when your clients are mainly business owners. And B2C is business to consumers, is when your clients base are consumers. And that's where you start selling lower ticket products, aka products with lower prices. So when you go into the B2B space, you're gonna be able to charge higher prices because you're working with a business and not just a regular person that has a job. And so you can also sell products to businesses, but I recommend just doing a service because it's the lowest risk for you and it's probably the fastest business model to grow and scale. Okay, let me get into skills. So, when you are working in a B2B based business, and I'm going to be going and talking about B2B, um, a business has different sections where you can provide a service to increase the product, sales, marketing, increase the revenue, increase the efficiency of the business, the automations, the IT, all of that. So you have marketing, you have sales, you have finance, you have IT, you have automations, you have recruitment, you have HR, and I believe legal. So these are all sections of the business. And my business, social media marketing, focuses on marketing because I believe if you can increase the revenue of a company, you can increase the prices that you charge. Because if you help a business go from 1 million to 2 million in a year, so it's a 2x gain, and you take 10% of all the revenue you helped it gain, so 10% of 1 million, you just made 100 grand from one client in 1 year, right? And so it's just a numbers game at that point. So that's really where marketing comes into play and sales. And I believe that those are the best to work in when starting out as well. But you can also do it in automations, for example. I have friends that make $6,000 per project per automation that they implement through AI. So it's definitely a booming market. You can also do finance. This is where you start giving accounting. They provide the service for the finance section. You have IT when you start also automating recruitment. You can help them recruit other people, etc., etc. But let's focus on marketing right now because that's where I specialize in. So as a business owner, I target businesses that also target other businesses. So I work B2B, but my target audience, the people that I'm trying to target, are also B2B. So they also have business owners. So then what I do in my market, in my field, there are three ways to market yourself to other business owners and also to consumers. And these are the two, like, the online ways to get clients. Okay. Number one, you have social media. Social media is our platforms: YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, where you can post for free and market for yourself. So I think it is one of the best platforms to master because it doesn't take any money to get good at. And so it's very risk free, and that's why I chose it as well. Number two is paid ads. This is like Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO. This is where you have to put money in to get money out. It's a little harder to master because you're putting money on the line instead of your time. And number three is outreach. This is the most risk free way, also next to social media, to get clients. And that's purely because you have two ways of outreach. You have cold outreach and warm outreach. Cold outreach is where you guys don't know each other and you're messaging a person, don't know each other. Warm outreach is you know them, it's your uncle, it's a friend through a friend, it's someone that you already know about. So, and they know about you. So, I focus on social media in marketing for businesses, and that is my skill. Now, how can you learn a skill like this? But also, you can learn paid ads, you can learn outreach, you can learn sales, increase their sales through closing, etc., etc. So you just have to kind of choose what skill you want to learn and then just start doing it. And the way to learn it is by number one, YouTube. Learn the fundamentals, learn the basics, learn everything you need to learn. Number two, school. Look for courses by some good creators. For social media, for example, I did Callaway's course, which is a big social media guy, and he had a course on school, literally teaching you everything. And then also for business, I took Alex Hormozi's course on his website, acquisition.com, where you can learn for free $100 million leads and $100 million offers, where he talks about how to get leads and how to make offers. And number three is by doing it yourself, which is something I also did. So either doing it yourself or for a client. And I did it for myself before I did it for any clients. I did it for my fitness page, my faceless page, and another faceless page, just to get the case studies and the proof to show when I was selling that I could deliver on what I was promising my leads. And leads are people that are interested in your service and that want to work with you. So that's how you choose the skill. Go on YouTube, figure it out, ask ChatGPT, and then learn the skill, learn the fundamentals, learn the basics. It takes about 20 hours to become better than 90%. So then you're in the top 10% of that skill. And 20 hours is like a week's worth of work. So once you have that, number two is going to be offer. Oh my gosh. I hate this little thing. Okay. Offer. So, step two is to create an irresistible offer. And when I was starting out, I had no fucking idea what this meant. I didn't understand it. So, now I do. And it became very clear to me that this was one of the first mistakes that I made when starting my business because I didn't even know what it meant. And this is one of the most underrated parts when starting your business. It is your offer. And so, what is an offer? An offer is the deal structure that you have when you make a deal with a client. So in the offer, you can have terms like, hey, if I work with you, you can give me a testimonial and you'll pay me $500 a month. Or you can have a guarantee. If you're not satisfied, you'll get 100% of your money back by the end of the month. And so that's kind of like where you can start being creative. Like, hey, if I don't get you 10 booked calls for your business within 90 days, I'm going to give you all your money back. And that way, I'm taking on more risk so that you say yes to the deal, but then I close you. And what happens in those guarantees is that almost 100% of the time, people don't ask for their money back because the customer experience was good and the service delivery was good. And if it was bad, then you can just refund them and you have free work. So here, when you're starting out and you have never done the service before, I recommend having this offer structure. So you go to the person, say, hey, can I do your social media for free? Right? Can I do it for free for 3 months? And in exchange, all I ask is that you give me a testimonial if you think that the work was good, right? Test it, yell, and can I use you as a case study so I can show proof that I worked with you and that it actually went right? And can I also get a referral? Remember, you're putting in hours of your life to work for free for 3 months straight for a company. And if you ask for a testimonial referrals, you're going to get testimonial referrals. There are a ton of people that will say yes to this because they are getting a lot of value in exchange for just this, and you are getting experience. Number one thing here, the number one priority in this stage is experience. So don't be money hungry, don't charge anything, work for free. Work for free. Get 5 clients on the free offer. Once you can't fulfill it anymore, start raising your prices. Even if you have $200 per client for 5 clients, you're making $1,000 in revenue and profit per month because you don't have any costs. So, work for free. Don't be money hungry. Build up the experience because with experience and case studies and testimonials are when the client makes a video saying how good your service was so that you have proof. And case studies is just the work that you did for them, but then presented neatly like, hey, 10% increase in revenue, 10% increase in this and that. So once you get that, you're going to build experience, and that's going to increase your authority. And when you have a higher authority, you have to focus less on guarantees because your authority is going to start speaking for itself. So then you don't have to have that money back guarantee anymore. So I suggest doing this if you have zero experience. But if you have done it for yourself, and let's say you got lucky, you got 1 million views, you got 10,000 followers on Instagram, I would then you already have authority. You don't have to work for free. You don't have to do the guarantee. You can literally, if people come to you, you can start charging either 500 to 1,000 for per month on a 3 month contract, and then plus the testimonials and case studies and referrals. And you can already do that if you have authority. So my recommendation, do it for free, build up your authority, then start charging prices when your demand outgrows your supply. Simple economics. Okay, now with this offer in place, how do you actually get a client? So that's step 3. I'm going to change the blue because the marker's running out. So step 3. This is get the client. So you have to get your first client. How do you do this? So, as I mentioned, you can do it through 3 ways: social media, paid ads, and outreach. What I suggest you do is outreach. Quick story about how I got my first client, which was actually pretty lucky. Because I'm on an island on Curacao, I didn't want anyone to know what I was doing because I started when I was 16. And when you're starting out, you're gonna feel a lot. And a lot of people, if you go tell everyone what you're doing, they're gonna be nosy and they're gonna see you fail. And to me, I did not care. I believed in myself. I didn't need anyone to believe in me. I loved what I did, even if I was failing. And failing is just a part of the process. Failing is learning. And when you're going into business, you are gonna fail. It is a proven fact. No matter what, you are going to fail and you're going to learn and you're going to become better. But that is the price you pay to have a successful business. So don't be discouraged by it. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. And then you're going to make money. And that's just how it works. So when I got my first client, I had to start a reputation and a brand for myself in the US. So it was a little bit more difficult, but I ended up finding my first business partner, which was Andrew. Great guy, love him to death. I was with him. We were in business, and together we bought a course. And because we bought the course, we thought we were going to get clients, but turned out we just learned a ton. But I kept in contact with him, and his name is Solomon. And after that, he became my first client, which I was really happy with. So I bought his course for 5 grand. We didn't learn a lot. I mean, we learned a lot, but we didn't get any clients. And then he turned into my first client, which I'm super grateful for. And then Andrew and me split. He went to focus on online casino business, which is booming, and I focused on this. I just kept focusing on the social media marketing business. So after I got Solomon, I was able to get referrals. So that's how I skilled pretty rapidly, and that's when I figured out the power of referrals. So if you're not lucky like me, I'm sorry, I kind of went on a yapping spree, but if you're not lucky like me, do outreach. So the best platforms to do outreach on right now for B2B business is LinkedIn and Instagram. LinkedIn, you can only send 40 connects a day, but be careful because if you go over 40 connects, you're going to get banned, and I got banned. So I can't use it anymore. But if you just do 20 connects in the morning and 20 connects in the evening, you're going to be good, and try to connect with your ICP. This means ideal client prospect. This is the person that you would ideally go for, and that is your ideal client. You don't have to worry about that too much in the beginning. You can just go pretty broad. And then as you get more clients, once you get 10 clients, you're going to figure out which clients exactly you like working with the most and then double down on that. But for now, just go on LinkedIn, find those connects, connect with them, and once they accept your connect, you can send them a message. You can be chill, you can be fun, you can do whatever. Never be desperate, because I've experienced that being desperate, it just shows that you're not an authority in the space. Instagram, you can send about 50 DMs a day per account. So that is also a really good acquisition channel. Again, make sure that you just get the first reply in the door. Don't be pushy. Don't be salesy. Just be chill and connect every single day. And once you have the free offer, you can just say, "Hey, would you be open to working with me for free for a week, and or for a month? We can just hop on a call, see if it's a fit, and then get ready to it. And then you're gonna get clients, 100%. Everyone wants free stuff, so that's how you get your first client. That shouldn't be too hard. And then step 4 is, as I mentioned, referrals. So this is where the magic happens. Referrals are the fastest and cheapest way to skill ever. So double down on referrals when you get your first client. Because when I got my first client, I asked for referrals, I got referrals, and then I got more referrals. And that's just kind of how you start in the beginning. It's just through people. And the beauty of this is it costs you nothing to get another client. All it costs is that you ask them for it. And most of the times they're going to say yes. But if they say no, you can even say, hey, I'll give you 10%, 20%, 30% of whatever referrals you get me in. And then you can just profit from it every single month for just referring me. And people are going to say yes to that. And remember, taking on a good client is better than losing the whole client. That's what I think, especially when you're starting out. It's just about building experience. Don't be money hungry. So just give them the percentage and just get the client. So once you get the referrals, you're going to get a ton of work, and you're eventually not going to be able to do it anymore. You're either going to burn out by doing everything yourself, or you just can't handle it all because there's too much coming in. That's when you start raising the prices. But then you're still gonna want it to take a step back because you started this business for to have more free time and more money, right? So that's where step 5 comes into play. And step 5, oh gosh, is building. All right, time to switch to Sharpie or whatever you call it, a marker. There we go. Step 5 is building a team. So this is where you start to find people, right? Typically younger, less experienced than you, and you just try to find them and teach them what you do to the day-to-day basis. And because it's a win-win situation, is that you're getting a team member, and in return, they're getting experience and they're getting paid to learn your processes that took you a lot of time to learn. So this is where you start making SOPs. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedure. This is a documentation in a Word doc. It doesn't really matter, or Notion template. And this is where you type out the D, um, the DDD format. So this is from Alex Ramosi. This is called document, then duplicate, demonstrate, and then duplicate. So document means step by step, say what you're doing. So for me, the SOP was okay, so how do you do research? How do you do scripting? How do you do editing? And how do you do posting? Just the whole day to day procedure for handling a client. Then I filmed myself on CapCut, just screen record it, or on Loom. And then when you screen record it on CapCut, you can just post it on YouTube unlisted and then send that link to whoever you're trying to train. And then they can literally see what you're doing so that they can follow the steps and just do the demonstration. So the last D is duplicate. This is where the team member himself, he's gonna do it, and you're just gonna hop on the call and see if he does all the process right. If he does, then boom, you learn him everything he needs to know. Now he can start handling clients for you. So once you have this operation going, you're going to give them, I would say, 30%, 40%. Just make sure that you're keeping more than half because that gives you a little bit more control of everything. And for example, if you charge $500 a client, I would recommend just giving them $200 a month per client that they handle because as a business owner, you are taking on more risk and you need to use that cash flow to reinvest, which is the step that is going to be the bonus for this video. So let's go back to red. Bonus. Bonus is cash flow. Let's see here. Cash flow. So what do I mean with cash flow? Let's say you have 3 clients, right? And you are charging $500 a month. So 3 clients, you're making 1.5K per month revenue. Per month revenue. And let's say you have a 66% profit margin. You give 33% to your team. So you're making 1K a month profit. Now, we're going to keep this profit in the business. We're not going to cash out. We're going to keep the money, keep it to the side. And what you're going to use with this money is you're going to use it as cash flow to reinvest in other acquisition channels. Acquisition channel means the method that you get clients. So email campaign is an acquisition channel. Social media is an acquisition channel, etc. So you're going to use that 1K a month to find ways to get more clients because then you can start growing rapidly. You can invest in email campaigns, you can invest in ads, you can invest in someone to do the outreach for you, etc., etc. And then you can start growing pretty fast because you have this cash flow method. Now, this system, reinvesting in either ads, email campaigns, or anything, plus the referral program where the client gets 25% commission, that's going to ultimately just get you a ton of clients. And then once you hit 10 clients, you just keep increasing the price with from 500 to 750 to 750 to 1K, and you're just going to keep increasing the price as your demand grows. If your demand does not grow, do not increase the prices. You're going to have months where you literally make $0. You're going to go from 2K to 0, and I've had that. So I went to 2K, and then I was like, wow, let me just increase my prices, and no one bought again. So that's also a mistake that I learned from. But with this method, you can literally within a month, if you're serious and you work 6 to 8 hours a day and you take action today, for the next month, you can go from 0 to making 1K a month within 2 months if you just dial in and if you actually do this and if you are connected and if you are lucky. It took me a year before I started making my first dollar, and then after that it's just very rocky as an entrepreneur, like an actual entrepreneur, not just the guru that sells a course online, but actually getting clients, actually working with people in the US and in the UK and in Europe. um, it's extremely difficult, the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. And that could be because I took the harder route, which is starting in a foreign country where I had to build myself up, or it could just be how it is. And I feel like a ton of entrepreneurs online, they're not realistic at all. Like, making 10K a month is so easy. It's not. It's really not. It's not easy at all. And it definitely takes time. And an average business takes 5 years before it's profitable. So if you even do it in 2 years, it's incredibly impressive. And if you're watching this right now, it's also a good sign that you're on a good track if you take action. Because when I was 15, I started watching videos for a year straight, thinking I was being productive. But the only way to actually learn how all this works is by doing it. And that's what I've been doing for the past 4 years. So take action, start today. And if you have any questions, you can just ask me on my Instagram account, which I created 3 months ago for my business. So let me know, dude.